Welcome to a world where memories have become the ultimate currency. In this advanced society, technology dominates every facet of life, offering new possibilities and unimaginable trade-offs. Among the countless innovations is the groundbreaking service, memory leases. The promise is simple yet profound: transform your most cherished memories into tangible wealth. Massive billboards illuminate the city skyline, showcasing smiling families, joyful milestones and serene moments, all available for a price. People equipped with augmented reality glasses or implants navigate this urban sprawl, their lives intertwined with technology in ways both miraculous and unsettling. The city is a symphony of neon lights and bustling streets where holographic advertisements vie for attention, and the hum of drones fills the air. Beneath the shimmering facade lies a deeper narrative, where memory leases offer not just opportunity, but temptation and peril. Gleaming skyscrapers to the shadowed alleys below, hinting at the inequalities and stories hidden behind this glow of progress. The streets below tell a stark tale of contrasts: luxury excess for some, and survival and compromise for others. This is where our tale begins, following one individual whose life is about to be irrevocably altered by this new economy of memories. What starts as an alluring promise will unravel into a journey that challenges the very essence of what it means to live. In a tiny apartment where the air hangs heavy with the scent of turpentine and stale coffee, Lara sits at a battered wooden table. The walls around her are a patchwork of paint splatters, curling posters and pinned sketches, each corner of the room marked by her restless creativity. Yet for all its personality, the space feels unbearably small, like it's closing in. On the table beneath the dim light of a single flickering bulb lies the notice of another kind. Stacks of unopened envelopes, their red stamps screaming urgent and final notice. Fight for space with discarded brushes and crumpled sketches. Among them sits a single letter, unfolded and deliberately placed. Its contents are simple, stark and unforgiving. A bank statement with a bold number circled in red, her balance dangerously close to zero. Lara's gaze lingers on it, her fingers brushing the edge of the paper like it might bite. Next to the statement lies another letter, more insidious in its tone, an advertisement painted on glossy paper, bright and polished in a way that feels almost cruel. Memory leases. Lara exhales deeply, her breath barely audible over the hum of the city outside. She looks around the room, her eyes tracing the clutter, the unfinished canvases leaning against the wall, the half-empty paint tubes scattered on the floor, the sketches pinned haphazardly above her desk. Each piece is a fragment of something bigger, a part of a vision she hasn't yet pieced together. Her face tells a story of its own. Dark circles frame her tired eyes, and yet there's something in her expression, something defiant. Beneath the exhaustion, a glimmer of determination flickers like a stubborn ember refusing to go out. The world has not been kind to Lara, but kindness isn't what she needs right now. What she needs is time, space, and maybe a little luck, all things the pile of letters on her table seems hell-bent on denying her. Her gaze shifts to the nearest canvas, stretched and waiting. Its surface is blank except for a single brushstroke, a whisper of an idea that hasn't yet taken shape. Slowly she picks up a paintbrush. Her hand trembles, the weight of everything pressing down on her. But as the bristles touch the canvas, her breathing steadies. The room, for all its clutter and chaos, begins to fade away. The bills, the letters, even the cruelly cheery ad. They're still there, but for a moment they lose their power. Lara's world narrows to the tip of the brush, the colour spreading across the blank surface to the quiet defiance in each stroke. In this dimly lit room, surrounded by everything she's trying to escape and everything she's trying to create, Lara makes a choice. She paints, not because it would solve her problems, but because it's the only thing that feels like living. The sterile, high-tech environment of the memory extraction centre is a stark contrast to the warmth of the memories it harvests. Every surface gleams with precision, designed to inspire confidence and efficiency, yet to those entering for the first time it feels uninviting, clinical, more factory than sanctuary. The air is cool and faintly sterile, the hum of machinery punctuating the silence as clients nervously await their turn. The artist reclines in a sleek, futuristic chair, their body tense with apprehension. A technician approaches, their demeanour professional yet detached, wearing an immaculate uniform that suggests authority and routine. Without pause they prepare the environment, their methods precise but devoid of empathy, a holographic interface springs to life, displaying the memory the artist has chosen to sell. A carefree childhood moment with her brother. The scene is vivid, a sunlit meadow, the laughter of loved ones, a moment of pure unfiltered joy. The artist stares at the memory projection, their heart aching as they prepare to part with it. As the extraction begins, a glowing sphere emerges from the artist's temple, the memory shimmering with an ethereal beauty. It is pulled gently into the device, the memory preserved and stored with meticulous care. For the artist, the sensation is surreal, as if part of their very being is being removed. They feel a faint tug deep within their mind, a bittersweet mix of relief and loss washing over them. When the process ends, Lara leaves with more money than they've seen in months. But something intangible, a piece of their soul, feels irreversibly altered. The memory extraction center, cold and indifferent, continues its operations as though nothing extraordinary has happened. Back in the solitude of her apartment, Lara looks at the framed photo from the picnic, a physical fragment of the memory she sold. But as she stares at it, searching for the comfort it once brought, she finds only emptiness. The emotional connection to the moment has vanished, leaving the image as nothing more than an empty artifact. The apartment feels colder now. Though nothing has visibly changed, it is as if the act of selling that memory has drained the room of its warmth and vibrancy. Shadows seem to linger longer, and silence presses in like a tangible weight. Even the paintings on the wall appear duller, as if the artist's own creations have lost their vitality. Lara removes the photo from the wall and places it face down on the table, unable to bear its presence. Her gaze shifts to her unfinished work, and a pang of loss cuts through her. Not just for the memory, but for the part of herself that went with it. She sits at the easel, trying to create, but the colours seem lifeless, the strokes uninspired. Lara had thought selling the memory would solve her problems, but instead it has created a void that no amount of money can fill. The silence of the room grows heavier, the weight of her decision pressing down on her like an unrelenting force. The memory, now stored and digitised, finds its way into a virtual auction, a marketplace for the wealthy and privileged. In a pristine minimalist room, a wealthy couple sits comfortably, their high-end holographic technology transporting them into the vivid world of the artist's memory. The room is impeccably designed, every detail exuding luxury and ease. The memory sphere glows softly, suspended in mid-air, displaying the memory in all its warmth and detail. The couple smiles as they preview the scene, their faces lighting up with impending nostalgia. They marvel at the happiness, the joyous laughter, and the carefree beauty of the moment. For them it's a curated escape, a perfect experience to add to their collection. Their laughter mingling with the projected sounds of the moment. It's a spectacle of indulgence, a fleeting joy that feels almost superficial. In their luxurious world, memories are commodities, stripped of their original context and meaning. As they enjoy this scene, their laughter rings hollow, a sharp contrast to the growing emptiness in the artist's life. They cherish the memory as if it were their own, never pausing to consider the cost of their pleasure. The transaction is complete, but the true cost remains unseen. What began as a desperate solution quickly spirals into a devastating cycle. The artist returns to the memory extraction center, each visit further eroding her sense of self. A montage unfolds, capturing her steady descent. A family celebration, vibrant and full of love, reduced to data. The feeling of elation at her graduation ceremony, extracted and sold. The triumph of her first art exhibition, a memory of pride and joy, gone in an instant. Each memory extraction strips away another layer of Lara's humanity. The artist's once vibrant eyes now grow dim, their posture more slouched with each visit, her gaze constantly lost. The money brings temporary relief, but the emotional toll is undeniable. Lara's apartment, once chaotic but alive with personality, now feels barren, as if it mirrors the emptiness within. She is no longer the person she once was, but a shell, trading away the very essence of her humanity for survival. The relentless pursuit of financial stability blurs into a haze of transactions and losses, until Lara loses sight of the cost entirely. Lara, once a vibrant force of creativity and passion, now stands before her canvas as a shadow of her former self. The brush in her hand feels heavier than it should, like it's weighted with the gravity of her own forgotten past. On the canvas before her, blurry, abstract shape begins to emerge, hints of the memories she sold, incomplete and distorted. Each colour she mixes seems duller than the last, lacking the vibrancy it once held. The forms she creates are fragmented, disconnected, as though the pieces of her soul she once poured into her work no longer fit together. Each stroke of the brush is slow, hesitant and laborious. Her movements carry the weight of doubt, the kind that gnaws at the edges of her mind, whispering cruel reminders of what she's lost. The act of creation, which once came as naturally as breathing, has become a painful struggle, each attempt a reminder of the hollow space where inspiration used to thrive. Around her, in the dim-lit room, ghostly images seem to linger at the edges of her vision. Faces she used to know, loved ones from a past she can no longer fully remember, flicker in and out like the fragile reflections on the surface of the water. Her expressions are tender but distant, like memories that refuse to solidify. The threads of these memories pull faintly at her consciousness, tormenting her with what was once hers but has now slipped beyond her grasp. The laughter she can no longer hear. She embraces what she can no longer feel. All of it feels cruelly out of reach, as if the very act of remembering might shatter her. Her hands tremble as she dips the brush into the paint, the motion deliberate but faltering. When the bristles meet the canvas, the strokes are tentative, as though she fears the act itself. She pauses often, staring at the shapes taking form before her, searching for meaning in the emptiness they hold. The emotions that once fueled her creativity, joy, sorrow, love, anger, are absent now, replaced by a numbing void. What remains is a pale echo of the fire that once burnt brightly within her, a flicker she cannot seem to reignite. The room feels colder as the moments drag on. Her canvas becomes something more than a tool for expression. It transforms into a mirror, reflecting back all the sacrifices she has made, all the pieces of herself she has traded away. Her art, once boundless and full of life, is now a haunting reminder of what she has lost. And yet Lara keeps painting. Each new canvas becomes a monument to a life she no longer recognises, a shrine to dreams that increasingly feel distant and unreachable. The shapes that emerge from her brush seem to mock her, incomplete and blurred, as if they too are struggling to exist. Her world has shrunk this room, this canvas, this endless attempt to reclaim something that seems forever out of reach. Her breath catches as she notices a particular stroke on the canvas, a curve that feels almost familiar, a fleeting reminder of something warm and cherished. She pauses, her brush hovering above the surface, her hand trembling more than ever. The moment fades as quickly as it came, leaving her staring at the same disjointed fragments. The hours stretch on, the art of painting offering neither solace nor escape. The faces in the background remain, their presence unrelenting. She cannot look at them, cannot hold them in her gaze for more than a fleeting second. They flicker, they fade, they return, each one a painful echo of what she has sacrificed to survive. As the light in the room grows dimmer, Lara feels herself drifting further from the life she once knew. Her art, once a boundless source of freedom, has become a prison of her own making, a space where every brushstroke binds her closer to the shadows of the past. She keeps painting, not because she believes she can reclaim what she's lost, but because it's all she knows how to do. Haunted by loss, Lara finds herself wandering the city, a storm of thoughts brewing in her mind. Her feet carry her to a serene park, where the chaos of the outside world fades into quiet whispers of rustling leaves and distant birdsong. And this is where she finds him, the buyer, as he stands with a relaxed posture, his face bathed in an almost ethereal glow. In his hands are a sleek pair of augmented reality glasses, projecting a memory that doesn't belong to him. Lara stops in her tracks, her breath hitching as she takes in the scene before her. The projection is vibrant and heartbreakingly familiar. It's one of her memories, one of the many pieces of herself she sold. In vivid detail, Lara sees a moment she once held dear, sunlight streaming in through the window, her hands covered in paint as she laughed with a friend she hadn't seen in years. Every colour, every sound, every sensation is perfect, so much more alive than her present reality could ever hope to be. Her chest tightens as she watches the stranger smile wistfully, his eyes glistening with tears as they immerse themselves in the memory. To him it's a masterpiece, a slice of life so vivid it feels real, but to Lara it's a stolen fragment of her soul, now being cherished by someone who can never understand the depth of its meaning. Her emotions swirl, a storm of anger, heartbreak, and something she can't quite name. She takes a shaky step forward, then another, until she's standing just a few feet away from the buyer. Her voice, tight and trembling, cuts through the peaceful air. Do you even know where that memory came from? The buyer looks up, startled, the glasses still perched on his nose. They blink at her, their expression a mixture of confusion and curiosity. Slowly he removes the glasses and the vibrant projection vanishes, leaving only the dim reality of the park. Lara is almost gasping. That memory, it was mine. You're sitting here cherishing something that was ripped away from me. How can you enjoy it, knowing it doesn't belong to you? The buyer frowns, his face softening with the expression of gentle regret, but not the kind that Lara had hoped for. I didn't know, they say. His voice calm and measured. I don't know whose memories they are. I only know what they mean to me. Lara's heart twists with his words. Mean to you? Her voice rises, shaking with emotion. That moment, it wasn't just a happy snapshot. It was my life, my experience, my pain, and joy all wrapped up in something you could never understand. How can you stand there and find solace in something that's left me hollow? The buyer lowers his gaze, his expression pained but distant. I don't mean to hurt you, he replies softly. This memory is beautiful. It reminds me of moments I've lost, of people I'll never see again. When I wear these glasses, I feel alive, even if it's just for a moment. To me, it's not stolen. It's a gift. His words hit Lara like a cold wind. She stares at the buyer, trying to find a trace of malice in his face, but there is none. To him, this memory truly is a treasure, something to cling on to as his own world fades. But to Lara, it's an aching wound, a reminder of what she can never reclaim. Her anger falters, replaced by an overwhelming sadness. She had come here searching for closure, for a way to bridge the gap between what was taken from her and what she had become. Instead, she can only find a chasm that cannot be crossed. The confrontation lingers in silence, heavy and unresolved. The buyer places the glasses back on the bench beside him, his gaze drifting out towards the trees. Lara looks at the glasses, then at the buyer before turning away. Her feet move slowly at first, then quicker, carrying her out of the park and away from the scene she can no longer bear to witness. As she walks, the weight in her chest grows heavier, not lighter. There is no victory here, no catharsis. Only the raw, unchangeable truth. Her memories are gone, and the world has moved on without them. Behind her, the buyer remains seated on the bench, slipping the glasses back on. His smile returns as the memory plays once more, vibrant and perfect, blissfully unaware of the true cost of his purchase. Lara doesn't look back. Desperation fuels Lara's final act. Under the cover of darkness, she approaches the towering headquarters of the company that stole her mind. The building's reflective surfaces glint faintly under the moonlight, a stark reminder of the power and wealth hoarded within. Lara's mind is sharper than ever with the need for justice. Slipping through the shadows, she navigates the perimeter, avoiding the sweep of security cameras. Her heart pounds as she reaches the slide door. A lock blocks her path, but she pulls out a small device, her hands steady despite the tension coiling in her chest. With a faint click, the lock disengages and she slips inside. The sterile labyrinthine corridors are eerily quiet, save for the hum of electricity. Every step is deliberate, every corner a risk. Lara ducks into alcoves to avoid patrolling guards, her breath hitching at the sound of their footsteps. Her destination is clear, the server room, the heart of the company's operations. When she finally arrives, a heavy steel door stands between her and her goal. The lock is more sophisticated, but Lara came prepared. Kneeling before the keypad, she connects her device and works quickly, the faint sound of her tools filling the silence. The door hisses open, revealing a cavernous room bathed in the glow of countless blinking servers. Lara moves to a central terminal, her eyes locking on a wall of glowing spheres, digitized memories, stored and catalogued like commodities. Her jaw tightens as she connects her laptop to the terminal, her fingers flying all over the keyboard. The company's defences are formidable, and every failed attempt sounds like a spike of frustration through her, but she doesn't stop. Finally, one sphere unlocks, expanding into a projection of a moment she recognises immediately. It's hers, an intimate fragment of her past, but as the memory plays across the screen, her relief crumbles. It's incomplete, a hollow echo of what it once was. Faces are blurred, laughter muted, the warmth is gone, replaced by something cold and lifeless. Tears sting her eyes, but she forces them back. One memory isn't enough. She didn't come here for fragments, she came here to end this. Lara's gaze shifts to the server's hub, the nexus of the company's entire archive. Without hesitation, she pulls a small EMP device from her bag. Standing before the hub, she hesitates only for a moment. She thinks of all the lives like hers that have been hollowed out by the company's greed. Her resolve hardens as she activates the device. A sharp hum builds, then a crackling surge of energy plunges the room into darkness. Alarms blare, their shrill cries echoing through the building. Lara bolts, retracing her steps with practiced precision. Guards shout in the distance, but she's already outside the door, her lungs burning as she runs into the night. Only when the building is far behind does she stop, turning to look back at the dark silhouette against the horizon. She knows this won't bring her memories back, it won't erase the scars, but for the first time in years, she feels the faintest flicker of hope. Sitting alone in the oppressive darkness of her apartment, the artist, Lara, holds the retrieved memory in her trembling hands. It flickers erratically, its images glitching and distorting as if the very fabric of time and space has been torn. Once vivid and whole, this memory now feels like a shattered reflection of itself, broken into fleeting moments that cannot be grasped or understood. The scene plays out in a disjointed blur, flashing briefly before dissolving into a haze of static and fragmented images. There is laughter, a warmth from the sunlight, the rush of joy, and yet all of it feels incomplete, tainted by the harsh process of commodification. What was once pure has been twisted, packaged, and sold for profit. The beauty of the past, once rich with meaning, is now reduced to a hollow echo, its worth measured in monetary terms rather than emotional intelligence. Tears stream relentlessly down Lara's face as she watches the distorted images flicker before her. She realizes with her cruel clarity that no matter how hard she tries, no matter how much effort she pours into it, reclaiming what was lost, she will never be able to restore the essence of what those memories once were. The memory itself, in its current state, is a cruel imitation, a hollow reminder of the price she has paid for survival. Her fingers grip the device tightly, but it offers no comfort. It's a bitter realization. Survival comes with a cost, and what has been sacrificed is more than she can bear to lose. The apartment, once a sanctuary, now feels like a prison, the walls closing around her, the silence suffocating, filled only with the weight of regret. It presses against her chest, making it hard to breathe, to think, to move. She is trapped in the solitude of her own mind, struggling to make sense of what's left of herself. What is the value of survival when the price is losing everything that made her whole? In the silence, Lara left alone with the most haunting question of all. Was survival worth the cost of losing herself? Memories, once the essence of who we are. Those precious moments that shape our identity, our connections to the world, and to each other, now lie on the altar of commodification. They are no longer the intimate fragments of our past, but instead mere commodities to be bought and sold. Stripped of their emotional depth, Lara's journey, fraught with pain and confusion, shows the unbearable truth. The price of survival is often too high, and what is lost in the process cannot be measured by any currency. Memories, once the lifeblood of our experience, when taken from us in such a cold, transactional way, leave behind something that's far more valuable than money could ever replace. The essence of who we are. And that, once gone, can never be truly restored.